I've downloaded a PDF copy of HR 3200 from the government's website, and you can find the link for it in our healthcare article in the Road Ahead section. So what I'm about to show you is from the bill itself. It's nothing I've written, and you can access it yourself straight from the source. HR 3200, section 2521, page 1001, paragraph 1. The Secretary shall establish a National Medical Device Registry, in the subsection referred to as the Registry, to facilitate analysis of post-market safety and outcomes data on each device that is or has been used in or on a patient and is a Class 3 device or a Class 2 device that is implantable, life-supporting, or life-sustaining. What exactly is a Class 2 device that is implantable? As you saw earlier, it is a device approved by the FDA in 2004. Here's the FDA's definition, and again there's a link on our healthcare article so you can view it straight from the source. A Class 2 implantable device is an implantable radiofrequency transponder system for patient identification and health information. The purpose of a Class 2 device is to collect data in medical patients such as claims data, patient survey data, standardized analytic files that allow for pooling and analysis of data from disparate data environments, electronic health records, and any other data deemed appropriate by the Secretary. Going back to what we just looked at, the creation of the National Medical Device Registry in section 2521, page 1002, line 5. In developing the registry, the Secretary shall, and the law continues on with a laundry list of items that the Secretary must do in the process of creating this registry. In this to-do laundry list of items, line 17, subparagraph B, validating methods for analyzing patient safety and outcomes data from multiple sources and for linking such data with information included in the registry as described in subparagraph A. Going back to subparagraph A, right above subparagraph B, it says, including in the registry, in a manner consistent with subsection F, appropriate information to identify each device described in paragraph 1 by type, model, and serial number or other unique identifier. Don't be confused by the intentional obfuscation and skillful wording. This law first creates a National Medical Device Registry, and then immediately lists all the tasks that the Secretary of Health and Human Services will have to do in the process of creating this registry. The very first two items in the list mandates that the Secretary first gives a unique identification to each of the items listed in paragraph 1, which is Class 3 device or Class 2 device that is implantable. Then the very next thing the Secretary is to do is to create the process by which patient safety and outcomes data from multiple sources, which is electronic medical records, are linked to these newly and uniquely identified items from paragraph 1, which are the Class 3 and Class 2 implantable devices. Class 3 devices are items such as breast implants, pacemakers, heart valves, etc. A Class 2 device that is implantable is, as you've seen from the FDA, an implantable radiofrequency transponder RFID chip. From breast implants to pacemakers to RFID chips, which one is the only possible one that can be used for the stated purpose in section B, which is for linking such data with information included in the registry? And as we know from subsection A, the information in the registry is the name of a device. In plain speak, we are in a very clear way being told here that our electronic medical records are going to be linked to a Class 2 implantable device. Continuing a few lines down in this same section, section B, subsection II, still on page 1002, the patient safety and outcomes data from multiple sources that is to be linked is clearly spelled out as electronic medical records. It reads, link data obtained under clause I with information in the registry. Information in the registry is, as we know from subparagraph A, the name of a device. So what is the data obtained under clause I? Back up a few lines to clause I. It reads, obtain access to disparate sources of patient safety and outcomes data, including federal health-related electronic data. And again, from breast implants to pacemakers to RFID chips, which is the only one possible that could be used for the stated purpose in section B? That stated purpose is for linking such data, and that such data is electronic medical records. We have already seen in just the creation of this registry the device that will serve as the link, which is an RFID microchip that is categorized as a Class II implantable device, as well as what it will be the link for, which is your electronic medical records. And in case the law wasn't clear enough on that point, still in the laundry list of things to do, a few more lines down on the next page, page 1005, the Secretary, to protect public health, shall establish procedures to permit linkage of information submitted pursuant to subparagraph A, remember subparagraph A is the Class II implantable device, with patient safety and outcomes data obtained under paragraph 3, which is electronic medical records, and to permit analysis of linked data. Continuing on to page 1007, in the Standards, Implementation Criteria, and Certification Criteria section, the Secretary of Health and Human Services is given full power to enact all mandates from the laundry list of to-do items in the creation process of the registry, as well as dictate how the devices listed in the National Medical Device Registry are to be used and implemented. The Secretary of Health and Human Services, acting through the head office of the National Coordinator for Health Information Technology, shall adopt standards, implementation specifications, and certification criteria for electronic exchange and use in certified electronic health records of a unique device identifier for each device described in paragraph 1, National Medical Device Registry, if such an identifier is required by Section 519 of the Federal Food, Drug, and Cosmetic Act. Notice the veiled reference to the devices listed in paragraph 1, which are the Class III and Class II implantable devices, and the Food and Drug and Cosmetic Act, which is the very act that authorizes and gives federal approval to the Class II implantable devices, which again is radio frequency transponder RFID microchip. Here is another very important part. The VeriChip VeriMed electronic health record system received approval from the FDA in 2004 and is the only system that was approved. It is this system which will most likely be implemented as we see on page 1007 in the Standards, Implementation Criteria, and Certification Criteria section. Remember earlier when we showed you the VeriMed electronic health record system that was approved by the FDA? They tell us in their own statement that this is a system made up of implantable RFID microchips, handheld scanners for emergency room personnel to read these chips, and online electronic personal health records. Now on page 503, section E, lines 13 through 17, and I quote, encourage, as appropriate, the development and use of clinical registries and the development of clinical effectiveness research data networks from electronic health records, post-marketing drugs, and medical device surveillance. Let me say that again, medical device surveillance. Now let's look at section 163 of H.R. 3200, which gives the government direct electronic access to your bank account, which will work in conjunction with an implanted chip. Page 58, lines 5 through 15 read, Section D, enable the real-time or near real-time determination of one's individual financial responsibility at the point of service, and to extend possible prior to service, including whether the individual is eligible for specific service with a specific physician at a specific facility, which may include utilization of machine-readable health plan beneficiary identity card, enabled, where feasible, near real-time adjudication of claims. What does this mean? It means that the government will give everybody a health ID card that contains a machine-readable device, magnetic strip or RFID chip, similar to a credit card. Embedded in this chip or strip is your healthcare identification number. When you visit a medical provider, the medical claims will be processed while you are still in the office. The medical providers will be paid in real time, and the portion that you owe will be deducted from your bank account in real time, according to H.R. 3200. Notice here, in this part, which is at the beginning of the 2,000 plus pages of the law, it is carefully worded, which may include utilization of a machine-readable health plan beneficiary identity detection card. Here we are told that it may be a card. As you have already seen deeper in the law, section 2521, page 1000, what this may utilize is clearly spelled out as a Class II device that is implantable. We can only speculate at this point why the law is set up this way. Most likely this section was written to account for the gap in time from when the process of chipping begins to when everyone has received a chip, a means of starting with a card for the sake of expediency while the processing of chipping citizenry plays out.